Okay, now you're familiar with the main types of transactions used online. Try to determine which ones are used as we work through this small list of different website types below. We'll have a very quick look at them all to see what it is they do and how they make their money online. No doubt there are many more ways you can make money online, because this list is obviously by no means exhaustive. And to be honest, different methods keep emerging and popping up all the time. This list is purely to help stimulate our discussion. So the first one is promoting your existing offline services. And this is the good old standard brochure lead generation type of website where you tell the world that you're available. Nothing too fancy, just more a business card than anything else. Or maybe you'd like to build a community or a tribe. Develop some sort of forum or group or something where you can bring like-minded individuals together to develop relationships, to share information and ideas. Which is sort of like a membership website, you could set up those, they're quite popular. And through membership websites you can provide valuable and timely information that's perhaps hard to obtain elsewhere. Naturally, you can charge your visitors a regular fee to use the website, or you can even provide a one for free, or with a fee to use just the advanced features of a site. There are a wide range of different types of membership site structures that you can create. There are also lots of websites that generate leads for payment or create lead generation. You can set up sites that dominate the search engines, or you find other places to advertise and direct people over to that site so that you can collect potential customer leads, customer details, which you can then resell to local buyers. Speaking of buyers, maybe you'd like to develop some sort of loyalty or reward systems to reward customers for their ongoing loyalty to a supplier or a shop, or a group of shops in a town or something like that, and then sell those systems or participation in that system to the shop owners. Maybe you'd like to provide comparison shopping services. You can think in terms of websites such as PriceWatch or Hotels Combined, etc., where product data from several websites is aggregated and presented normally in the cheap to dearest type of format. Speaking of selling products, well, how about we set up the old standard catalogue-based e-commerce website to sell physical products or inventory, or even digital products or inventory. If you manufacture your own range of products, or maybe you purchase a range of products from overseas, set up your own e-commerce platform to sell them. You can also sell other people's physical products by drop shipping them, where they are shipped directly to your customer from your supplier. In fact, our catalogue format can be used to sell almost anything. And if you've got a garage full of junk, or maybe you want to set up an online shop on eBay or similar platforms, then, hey, look, let's sell those physical or digital goods by auction. And those platforms will look after you and the management and everything else for a small fee on each item. Maybe you'd like to promote other people's products and or their online or offline services as an affiliate. So here you'll find other people's stuff to promote and resell for a commission on the sale from your website. You can write articles, graphic ads, links, etc. And even better, of course, if it has a recurring component so that you can get a residual income every week or every month. So like selling somebody a monthly membership and being an affiliate for that. That's a good one, because that brings in an income every month for you. Or, for that matter, if you've got your own products or services that you're selling, why not set up an affiliate program of your own and recruit an army of people? An army, yeah, well, that's what they say anyway. Recruit other people to help sell your own stuff. What about selling your online personal skills? Web designers, programmers, consultants, virtual assistants. If you're in this sort of business, you've got to do this. You've got to set up your own website, because trying the next option, which is to do freelance work through gig sites. Oh, mate, I tell you, it's to advertise your services on a variety of freelance sites like Upwork and Fiverr and People for Hour and bid on the various projects that employers post there. I just can't see why you'd bother when you're fighting for bottom dollar. There's certainly no top dollar, and you've got to put yourself above that, I think, if you're trying to sell your own personal skills online. So set up your own website if you want to do that sort of thing. And if you're selling online services, perhaps you're an internet service provider, or you're doing web hosting or domain registration or hosted software solutions or whatever, software app development, well, there's an app for everything these days. So you're definitely going to need your own website to promote your work. And if you're providing SEO services, well, have you thought about providing on-site and or off-site search engine optimization services? Do you even know what they mean? Do you even know what's involved? Seems there's an awful lot of people dive into providing those services that don't have a clue, so if you've got half a brain in that field, you could do well. Similarly, search engine marketing services and pay-per-click advertising, helping people look after their, for example, their Google AdWords campaigns and stuff like that. Because face it, small businesses have got to look after their business. And they don't necessarily have the time to look after all these advertising and marketing that's going on. And if you can do a good job on that, there's a good potential online service that you can offer, along with, for example, social media management and marketing. Now that is such a large growing market these days, looking after the social marketing of one business or several businesses. Hey, if you like spending time on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, hey, why not get paid to do it? Okay, yeah, alright. Or maybe you feel that you've got a lot of content in that brain that you want to put out onto a website and develop a content-rich website. And the whole point of this is to, develop lots of engaging content to get more traffic from search engines so that you can monetize it through various channels, maybe earning money from advertising networks like AdSense or RankBrain, or selling your own online advertising, providing space there, or acting as a broker for a group of websites and selling online advertising to other businesses. Speaking of brokers, advertising is just one of the things that brokers look after, and if you can provide the missing link between one person and another, then, for example, affiliate marketers looking for JV partners, or between buyers or sellers of various items, a brokerage service is a good one to set up. Obviously, a good one that has been set up for some time is the classified ads site. I don't know whether building your own version of Gumtree or Craigslist is the way to go these days, but unless you come up with a twist of it, you could provide classifying advertising for buyers or sellers. Or set up a virtual marketplace. That was big back in the 90s, but they sort of died. But maybe, just maybe, you could put a new twist on it and provide a venue for others to use to promote their products. And something that has been around forever are directory websites, and in fact I've had them since 1997 and have had an ongoing love-hate relationship with the search engines in all that time. Despite the fact that Google says they don't like them, these are still a viable model if you build a good one. So you can either charge for the listing, or you can include paid advertising on it. And it's if you want to do that, I'd suggest that it's best to go really niche on a directory these days. Maybe you might just want to flip some domain names around. That doesn't mean give them the bird. What it means is you buy one. You buy a domain name. It might be an expired one, or maybe you just found one that's doing nothing, or maybe you've come up with a good name. So buy it and try and resell it for profit. And we're just talking about the name here because it may or may not have a website on it, but then again, if it's got a website on it, you can buy an existing website that perhaps someone no longer wants to develop. You can implement a range of monetization methods on those to turn a profit and maybe develop even further for later resale and hopefully make a profit on those. Speaking of websites, there's a special type of website called a turnkey website. This is a business in a box, where this is a website that is completely set up, ready to run at the push of a button. Yep, sounds good in theory, but I've yet to see any that really do that great a job. Of course, if you are good at speaking or coaching, then you'd be using a website to build credibility and generate leads for your business. Similarly, writers, if you can write good sales copy or good copy, your services will be in demand. And if you write good copy, you can sell those services. Of course, if you're a good writer, you can use the Amazon platform to create, publish, promote and sell your work in different formats, audio, Kindle, or even in a real book format. It's amazing what Amazon can actually do for you these days. Speaking of writing and writing for money, blogging is apparently the way to go, or at least that's what a lot of people think, where you can set up a website and write articles that perhaps you'll be paid to write, or get paid to include links or ads within existing articles and content that you've already written. Or maybe you can actually get paid for writing articles to generate links back to different websites. That could be your clients or your own websites or even affiliate pages. There's lots of writing opportunities available for anyone that's got a reasonable command of their first language. So think about that. And one of the ways, of course, if you can write well, is to provide information products or write and create and sell or resell digital products with various rights. These downloadable information products, people are always looking for them. And you can create your own digital product, an e-book or an e-course for sale to the public, or you can purchase resale rights from others and sell it to the public. And these products, it's worth looking into, because the products that you buy or create, they can be for personal use only by customers, or you might be able to sell them and give them various resale or private label rights and let people do and make whatever modifications they want to them. Interesting concept. But there is a lot of junk floating around in that area, so you've got to be careful. Again, on the writing thing is developing freemium content. Now, freemium is an interesting method where you are encouraging people to come to your website to consume your great content for free in order to try and attract them to join an email list. In other words, maybe you're giving them a great lead magnet, or you're trying to attract them like I did here and offer people access to preview the course. It's a good example of freemium content. Speaking of courses, why don't you, if you're any good at anything, develop an e-course or education materials or tutorials and sell it. People need ongoing education in all sorts of things. So if you're even vaguely good at something, if you can set up an e-course to be delivered online on your own website or possibly on the various teaching platforms online, why not do it? Alternatively, you can create digital education materials to be downloaded, PDFs, audio, video lessons, etc. Or again, use Amazon to self-publish real books. Speaking of video and audio, not everyone has voiceover or editing skills. So if you can do that, your website should showcase your skills in those areas. Or if you're any good at podcasts or infomercials, why not write and produce and provide these as a finished item for website owners? Speaking of finished items, taking and selling photographs, if you've got a good camera, I tell you what, good product photography is essential for e-commerce and is one of the hassles with trying to set up a good e-commerce store. So if you can do that, you've got a good market there. Alternatively, you could perhaps think of taking a whole range of stock photographs and selling them for profit. Because if you've got a good camera, those images can be worth a small fortune. Finally, MLM products and opportunities. Many people find multi-level marketing to be an attractive business proposition. The entire purpose of MLM is to distribute products to consumers. And the more distributors in the network, the more product the business can sell, blah, blah, blah. Now, I've been involved in those in the past and they didn't really turn me on. One that you might run across, though, is a pyramid scheme. Now, these are mostly illegal around the world. Now, the pyramid scheme mainly relies not so much on distributing product, it relies on getting your money and then using you to recruit other people. Now, neither MLM or pyramid schemes are discussed in any more detail here. So your task is to decide which models you might be able to implement that are appropriate to the specific audience of your idea. And then stick with that model, because it's far too easy to lose focus if you continue to chase the latest and greatest of the get-rich-quick ideas, or keep changing from one model to another to see what works. So ask yourself, which of those models that I've discussed most interest you? Which models might best suit your personal style? Are there any that you can actually become an expert in? Or if you're already an expert, how can you leverage yourself and your existing skills to make the most money, to have the most fun? Sorry, there's even more questions that need answers. But it's funny, when people look at developing an offline business, they firstly look for a need that is lacking in their community and then try to fill it. But when they go online, no, instead they look at how they can make a lot of money and forget about the basics of meeting that missing need, which, that's probably where the money is. So don't just ask which technique will earn you the most money, because 99.99999% of the time it'll be the wrong reason to pick a particular revenue model. And besides, there are no guarantees that one model will earn more than another. In my opinion, money and success should eventually come with something you are passionate about doing, whether that you're excited about doing it, whether you're online or off. Because by themselves, models don't offer magical solutions to making money. A much more important ingredient for your success is how you run your business. So which one of those suits you and your style and your idea best? And, if you're not sure yet, that's fine. There's still time, as there's still a lot more planning to do. And again, I've mentioned more ingredients for success. So the next lesson, we're going to take a little diversion and find out what those nasty failure ingredients look like, so we can avoid them completely, or at least minimise their effects.